I remember the first time that I was able to fully picture myself as I am now. I was a scared little girl who knew that I didn't fit what everyone thought that I was, but I needed to, or at least that's what I thought I was told. But I remember going into the bathroom and staring into the mirror and constantly critiquing what I looked like. How I hated my long hair, how my face was so feminine, how I was forcing myself into fitting a role that my parents and the people around me told me I had to play. But one day I started imagining other things. I imagined what I would look like when I had short hair, dyed hair, where I started hiding what my chest looked like, or wearing more masculine clothing. And as I started picturing these things and imagining what I would look like, the image in the mirror shifted. It was different, and it was me, or it was what I wanted to be and who I knew I could be with a little bit of time and effort. The true Jax inside of me. Shortly after I first cut my hair short, I decided that I was going to force out every single feminine thing about me, even if that's not entirely what I wanted. I just couldn't stand having people see me as feminine just by looking at me. So I remember going through all of my clothes and throwing them on the floor and making piles. I practically got rid of every single dress or skirt that I owned because whenever I wore them, people saw me as a girl, and I didn't want that at all. And any outfit or piece of clothing that I had that could even be slightly seen as masculine, I kept and added in to my daily rotation. And any clothes I bought after the fact matched what I saw as masculine clothing. The entirety of my wardrobe became graphic t-shirts with video game designs or band t-shirts because it made things easier. I went from wearing bright colors and shirts that I was comfortable in to stuff that I wasn't comfortable in, but it made me feel better when people weren't looking at me and seeing me as a girl. And I feel like that was one of the hardest parts of my transition. Trying to find my identity through clothing that at the same time both fit and didn't fit me, and who I wanted to be and who I wanted to express myself as to the world. One of the hardest parts of my gender journey was coming out to my parents. And it was hard because they knew me as their daughter and their little girl for 15 years before I came out. And they struggled to start. Sitting them down in the living room and saying to them, I don't believe I identify as a girl. I'm not comfortable with the way that my body is. I am uncomfortable being referred to as my dead name. I laid all these things out on the table for them, and in hindsight, I knew that they struggled with it. We argued and fought about it because they just didn't understand. And in the moment, I hated them for it. I hated that they couldn't just say that they accepted me, say that they could learn and adapt. And we got there. It took months, but slowly but surely we learned together. And we moved forward. And I think our relationship is okay now. At least better than it was when I started this whole thing.